Hey, just getting set up for deep listening meditation. All right, we're going to get started because we're recording this for everyone who's coming later. I'm Jess, and this is Deep Listening Yoga Nidra. To get started, just find a comfortable spot, whether that's on the floor, on a chair, lying down in your bed. It's been a long week, 2 weeks, etc. So just take a load off, get yourself super comfortable. I have my bolsters here, and we're going to start in restorative heart bench. So what that looks like, if you have blocks, one would go on the highest setting, the second one would go on the second setting. This would be the first, the flattest. You're going to put them on your yoga mat or my magic carpet in this example from the Middle East. One is on the high setting, one is on the second, and then take a bolster and you're going to lay that right on top so it makes an angle. Then you're going to bring the base of your spine towards the bottom of the bolster. Okay. And then just gently lie back, holding this in place. Bring your chin to your chest. If your head's completely laying back, you can put a little bit of a blanket underneath. You can either bring the soles of the feet together. If you have a second bolster, you can bring that underneath your knees. Just make sure your heels are on the floor. And lie back, opening up the chest, the collarbone, relaxing the shoulders with the palms face up. And then just close the eyes, and without changing your breathing yet, just notice your breathing pattern. I, for one, am out of breath because I've been running around and videotaping all day. Yesterday I was videotaping. I lost everything, and I'm just trying to let go. So as you lie back in your restorative posture of your choice, feel free to get as comfortable as you want. I will be talking you through meditation, guided meditation, and just close your eyes and start to lengthen your inhale, and then double lengthen your exhale. And if you're not sure what that looks or sounds like yet, just take it slow and try to maximize the exhale. So breathing in, relax your abdomen, allow your chest to fill and your collarbone to rise. And then exhale, slowly release the shoulder, the collarbone, the chest, and the abdomen. Good. Inhale slowly. Abdomen rises, chest through the collarbones. And exhale, slowly release. Continue with this breath. A slow inhale and exhale. And just with the eyes closed, start to take notice of what kinds of sounds are around you. You may hear some erroneous sounds in this video, maybe some in your own living space. And then listen to your internal voice. Maybe you have mind chatter. Maybe your stomach is like talking to you. I just ate, so mine is like speaking all kinds of things right now. And then just come right back to the breath. A gentle flow in and out through the nose, past the back of the throat, all the way down to the lungs. Breathing slowly, breathing deeply. Conscious breathing. Slow, full breaths. In and out through the nose. And as you lie in stillness, today the theme is Aparigraha. So in yoga teacher training, or if you're in your own philosophy circles, you may talk about the yamas and niyamas. Aparigraha is simply put, letting go. It is non-attachment. It is cutting the cords of those things that you're so super drawn to, whether it's like materialism, or you just can't get over a relationship, or you love someone so much that you have this smothering quality to that love, whatever it is. But often it's not as dramatic. Aparigraha is about letting go of expectations. So especially in a time like this, confusing time, not like anything I've ever seen before in my life, as I'm sure none of you have either, but we have this expectation as to how society should look, what people should do, maybe what politicians should do, what the schools should do, what our jobs, the grocery store, restaurants, doctors' offices. We have a certain expectation, right? Especially today, it's like, is it open or is it closed, right? I have an expectation. It should be open or it should be closed. We also have expectation of ourselves. Some of us set extremely high expectation for the self. Like, I'm one of those, hi, that's me. And I get really, really like down if I don't meet my own expectation. And of course, there's that expectation of others, right? With friendships, we might expect that somebody would handle a situation the same way that we would. And it's not always that way, right? We are our own separate entities. And so right now, take a moment to just close your eyes, come back to your breath, and bring your awareness to one thing that you might have a little stronger thread to. So we have like different cords and connections to all different things in my life, right? Like, so for example, like I'm sitting by this dresser and these other things, like I'm going to be moving at the end of the year and I have to determine how attached am I to these things. Are they coming with? Do I have like a strong cable cord attached from myself to these items? Are they going to come with me? Or do I have to like cut that cord and either sell them, leave them behind, donate them, give them to a friend, whatever, right? So that's like a very materialistic attachment. And these are not emotional items for me. These are like, okay, this is like particle board and, they're necessities. Like I do actually store things in there that I need, but it won't be the end of the world if I have to leave this behind. Like I can cut that cord, no problem. I'll leave the dressers maybe behind. Maybe, depends if I need it or not, right? That's on one hand. On another hand, we have these relationships, right? Friendships, right? And then there's like that frenemy or like that family member that you're like, okay, well, they're family and, like, and then all the I shoulds start happening. Like, I should, go see them more often. I should give them a phone call. I should, right? Maybe that's the case. But when we're talking about Aparigraha and that attachment and that expectation, right? How can we exist and how can we just be? How can we learn to accept in a non-judgmental way these people and the relationships we have with them, they for just who they are? So maybe draw to mind someone or something whom you have an attachment to and just notice the quality of those threads. Is it a thin, like sewing needle and thread that you could like, okay, this is not a problem. I'm not very attached. Whether it's an object, whether it's a person, whether it's an ideal. Or do you have like a super strong, thick cable that it will feel like it's destroying you if you have to cut that cord? And the yogis say that everything, even and sometimes especially the things that we absolutely love the most, we have to acknowledge the thickness of that thread, of how tethered we are to each other, to our surroundings, right? Being grounded is different than being tethered to objects and items and people. And sometimes we'll talk about another person, like they're my rock or they ground me. Maybe. But where can you find that within yourself to do that same sort of thing? That one's tricky. I have a really tough time with that. The people I love, I have a lot of rocks in my life, and those are really thick cords and cables for me. Not easy to cut through, right? And that's not what we're asking. It's not to discard like my furniture, right? It's just to start to notice the quality. And one thing that we can do in practicing that is to start to just notice people, objects, situations for what they are, and realize that it's outside of ourselves, that we can't control many of those things. Take a deep breath in. Slow breath out. We'll begin with a sound of Om, breathing in to prepare. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om, peace, peace, peace. And if you aren't already and you're just joining us, please lie down, find a comfortable seat, or I'll show you the bolsters that I have set up here. You might not have bolsters at home, that's okay. You can do this with pillows and books if you want to against a wall. I have two blocks. One is on the high setting, one is on the medium setting, right next to each other. I have my magic flying carpet here. You'd have a blanket or towel. I have one of the bolsters or pillows right here. And then we're going to bring the base of the spine or sacrum to the bottom. And then just lie the upper back down. I have another bolster here with the heels on the floor, and then just completely relax, right? If you need a little blanket or pillow under the head too, that's okay. And then relax the collarbone, the shoulders, and the upper arms down. You can stay here, or you can just lie down with the eyes closed. Maybe shutting off the lights. I'll be sitting up as I lead you through guided meditation. Bring your awareness back to your breath. Inhale slowly. And exhale fully. Breathe in deeply. And exhale. Bring your awareness to your mind space. And notice the quality of your thoughts. Bring to mind the word Aparigraha or non-attachment. Imagine that you're at the epicenter of the mind and you begin to notice the quality of different things in your life to which you have an attachment to. From the center of your heart or the center of your brain, your mind, Imagine threads beginning to form between your body and those attachments. Imagine walking up to these threads or these cords or cables. And bringing your hands to them, noticing the thickness of the cord or thread. The thicker the cord or thread, the stronger the attachment. The thinner the cord or thread, the lesser the attachment is. Bring to mind objects. First, objects that are utility objects, things that you need in your life, but you could probably do without. What kinds of objects do you have some attachment to, but it's a thin enough cord or thread that you can actually let go? Picture those objects, visualize them. Notice the thickness of that cord. And then bring to mind the objects that are in your life that you really need. You can't live without. These are the items if you are stranded on a desert island, right? These are the things that you really need with you. Maybe they're sentimental items, but physical things. Not I would bring my mother, right? That's going to be safe for people. But what are the objects that you cannot live without? And again, there's a different range of those. Some of those will have a thin thread. Some of them will have a thick cable. And notice the quality of your relationship with those objects. Then bring into your mind space the idea of institutions, ideas, and beliefs. Out of the institutions, whether it's work, school, maybe yoga class, exercise classes, what's your relationship? What's your thread to those things as you start to analyze your attachment? And so, for example, somebody joined the gym, but let's say they're I'm just going there, but I was going to cancel anyway, right? That may be a really thin thread. But if it's something that you really love, this is part of my daily routine, I go there, there's a social group, I have my favorite class, right? That's going to be a far thicker thread. So in all those institutions, work, school, the gym, things that take part in your daily routine, name what they are in your mind. And take note of the quality and the thickness of those threads or connections. If you're just joining in now, we're talking about attachment. An attachment is aparigraha. We're noticing what we're attached to in our lives. Some things we're very attached to, maybe technology, say, in a time of pandemic. We all have varying attachments to that. I wanted to throw my phone out the window, so I was ready to just cut that really thick cable and just buy a phone because it was losing charge and whatever. So I realized how attached I was to it today. That sparked this theme. Right, but then there's other things, I was mentioning this furniture in my room, not really attached to this pink drawer. If it goes away, I'm not going to lose sleep over that, right? And then there's other things, I'm really attached to my dog. I have to make a decision. Do I want to get surgery for him or not? Attachment comes into play when making those kinds of decisions. But right now you're analyzing your own attachments. The first to objects, things that you have, but you could easily live without. And then second, things that you need that really make an improvement in your life. Like, these are the things that you would bring with you on a deserted island. Analyzing the strength of your attachment to those items. And then the next level would be to different institutions like work, school, going to the gym, going to yoga class. If you always go to the library, or let's say you take, I don't know, walks, or your time at the beach, the things that you do, situations, politics, right? Maybe you have a certain attachment to beliefs in politics. Analyze that, right? Without judgment, just taking note of the quality of that string. Hey, I'm just getting used to this. And then finally start to take note of the different relationships. So this is where we have our circle of people in our lives. So the most extended circle are strangers. We care about them to a certain extent, sort of, like most people. If you're a good person, you care if this person walking down the street, you probably wish them well, most of you. Right? We probably care about the people that could be sick around us. We want them to feel well, and we want their health to be well, right? But we don't know them. So analyzing that connection, that attachment to those people. You don't know their name. You don't even really recognize their face. They're not acquaintances. They're just pure strangers. Maybe you can even bring into your mind space some of the people that you saw today for the very first time in your life. Maybe it was just on TV. And then the next level of people, these are acquaintances, right? And there are different types of acquaintances. Some of them you've seen, but you might not know their name, right? And you're don't know if you should wave to them. You probably should, right? At least smile, hey, I'm friendly and approachable. And then some of them, you're okay, I know your name, I know your face, I see you every day, but I don't know a whole lot about you in your life, right? So analyze the difference between those attachments. If you hear news about them, you're oh, okay, so-and-so, they're getting married, that's cool. Or, oh, I'm really sorry to hear, whatever, something's going on in their life, but you don't really know them. And then next we have our different tiers of friends, right? So every social group is different. So maybe you have some friends that are your old school friends that you haven't seen in a while, but these are important people to you. You care about them. You do know everything about them, but they're not on your mind daily. They're people that you, not only do you wish them well, but you do deeply care about them. So notice where the transition is in your life between those people who are acquaintances, you know their name and their face, but you don't know a whole lot about them, versus the people who are your next tier and you would call them friends. Where is that distinction, and what is the difference between that attachment, that thread between your heart and theirs? And then we work our way in even more, and we say, okay, now we have our solid core group of friends. This is people that you would hang out with, right? The people that, in a social setting, you probably would invite them, whether it's to a party or to your house. These are the people that get the invites. They're in the loop of what's going on in your life. Might not be every single day, but they're aware of you. They wish you well. You wish them well. You would do things for them and they for you. And then we go in another step further, the close good friends. These are the people that would help you move. So you're moving from one house to another, changing apartments, and these are the ones that they have got your back. You're wow, I can actually really rely on that person. Notice where that distinction comes in, the people that get invited to different things that you have versus the ones that you really know you can count on. For some people, these might be the same people, same folks, right? But just start to take note of what that thread, that heart space is like between those two. For those of you who are just tuning in, we're talking about Aparigraha and attachment and non-attachment, and just taking a look at those different parts of our lives. We started with objects, things that we need, but we don't care about too much, to things that we do need and we really have a hard time living without, to situations, ideas, political beliefs, and then now we're on social, range of friends. Now bring to mind your best friends. These are your ride or dies. These are the people that, not only do they have your back and know, everything about you, what you have between them you consider love. And it's very special. You may have had some trying times over the years, ups and downs, but you can call them your best friends. So again, taking a look at that space between your heart and theirs, and the quality and the thickness of the cord that runs between. And then the next level, and this might be different depending on who you are, but the next level is either within that or just outside of it on one or the other, but close family, right? So people that you care about, they care about you. And if that's not within your realm, then just analyze without judgment what family means to you, right? Because you have some probably very extended family to your absolute favorite family member or members, and you have different connections with them. So take a moment as you breathe, still breathing the whole time, and start to take note at the quality between that line, between your heart and theirs, between your family, your friends, best friends, and then the innermost, most intimate circle of the ones that you love the most. And this is very hard. And sometimes we don't like to rank, right? But these are children, spouses, maybe parents, top few people, no one else. They're very, very unique, very special. The people you absolutely will do anything for. They are your soul, soul to soul. Visualize that space between your heart and theirs, and the quality of that connection. With the eyes gently closed, look at all of the connections to all of those different aspects of your life. There are other aspects too, to your spirituality, to God, if you believe in God, your connection to nature, your connection to yourself and your body. Notice all of the different thicknesses, all the different strings, the strands. And then imagine taking one finger, and as if you're sweeping up cobwebs or some sort of thin film, imagine just taking away all of those really thin connections of things that are easy to not be attached to. So that would be me in this little shelf behind me. Easy, I can swipe that one away. Take a deep breath in and slow breath out. And then from that point to the ones that you love the most, the non-attachment, there's varying levels of difficulty, right, of how attached we are. We tend to be really, really attached to the ones we love. Take a moment to bring to mind a visualization that would allow you to dissolve some of the attachments that do not serve you. You don't have to dissolve all of those attachments right now. Some of them are just going to be so strong, and that's going to be a conversation for another day. Just moving with breath through your mind without judgment. Notice those different threads that could dissolve. Begin to sense a lightness cross over the body, over the toes and the tops of the feet, passing over the shins, over both knees, over the thighs, over the pelvis, over the abdomen, over the chest. Calmness pass over the throat, over the face, over the crown of the head. Feel lightness and calmness from top to bottom. Breathing in deeply and exhaling slowly. Deep breath in and slow breath out. The eyes closed. We'll meditate quietly for a few minutes before closing. Breathe in and out. Continuously breathe in and out through the nose. Sense a lightness in your body as you become aware of all that which you do not need to attach to. Wiping some of the attachments away, dissolving others, and allowing its remaining attachments you do have maybe to lift you up. Allow there to be a positive quality from the center of your heart to those remaining attachments. Deep breath in and exhale. Breathe deeply. Bring slow, gentle movements to your fingers and to your toes. Allow energy to move up the soles of the feet, around the ankles and the calves, swirling around the knees and the thighs, the hips, abdomen, opening up the chest and the throat. Allowing the eyelids to be heavy, the tongue away from the roof of the mouth as the energy passes over the crown of the head. And slowly, gently begin to crack open the eyelids just a bit, reacquainting yourself to the room. Maybe inhale, stretching your arms up over your head. Give yourself a nice stretch. Something that feels good. And find a comfortable seat. The eyes closed, the hands in prayer. Just take a moment to be grateful for this ability to observe the inner self without judgment. To take note of the quality of the attachments in our lives. And to use it to bring us enlightenment, to feel light and essentially joyous, and to strengthen those connections we do have in our lives by accepting people for who they are and acknowledging situations, beliefs, and ideals for what they are. We'll close class with the sound of Om, the universal sound. Take a deep breath in to prepare. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om, peace, peace, peace. Thank you so much for sharing practice with me tonight. Have a wonderful evening. Namaste. Also, just looking around, and one of the books I will probably be making my way through this week is The Seven Chakra Sisters by Linda Linker Rosenthal. Make friends with the inner allies who keep you healthy, laughing, loving, and wise. They're not sponsoring me or anything, but I bought this book a while ago, and it says, meet your chakra sisters. And this whole new spin on the chakras, imagine them as 7 young princesses living in an enchanted crystal castle, the human body. They have fallen under the spell of forgetfulness, causing the whole castle to feel sick, tired, and uninspired. How will they find balance and joy again? Read and find out. So if you have kids and you want to do something that's like a little different, you could maybe use this in a kids or teen yoga class. Here are the chakra sister names. So Anita is the needy one. She's your first floor root chakra, and she sees to your physical health. Ivana, your belly, second floor of the palace, she's the passionate sister. Sometimes guilt for being such a drama princess drags you or her down. Ahafta lives on the 3rd floor, your solar plexus. If you're just joining in now, these are the chakra sisters. Ahafta, when things are good, she's on fire, but out of balance, she's compulsive. And so that's like your power center. I love ya. That's cute. I love ya is the sister of the heart, smack dab in the middle. She's usually keeps you in balance, but under this spell, she is worrying herself to death. Sinya, Sinya is your voice, your throat. Free, she sings out and speaks truth. Stifled, she aches. Eusemes, creative imagination, your third eye, guides the sister's visions, but lately she just can't make up her mind. And finally, there is I am one. I am one, the spiritually connected chakra sister who lives on the top floor, your crown, the keeper of family harmony. But she's forgotten who she is, and now the whole castle is in danger. So these are the cute chakra sisters, and I will be reading that book. Again, thank you so much for those of you who hung out with me for my first IGTV slash Instagram live slash I don't know what other platforms we're trying to put this on, but hopefully, you can start developing a home practice if that's something that you haven't had the opportunity to do yet. I know for myself, I really enjoy community. That's why I love integration, and I love a lot of the other studios that I have been teaching at over the years, because it's really amazing to get together with like-minded people. So it's ironic that they call this social distancing, because through social media and electronics and all this stuff, if anything, we are still just keeping that community together, and really just working to bring things back to usual once we go back to the new normalcy. There will be some new normalcy. So it's good practice in just this ever-changing world that sometimes, things are going to happen that are out of our control, and we can't even believe, like, but we just have to keep our expectations in check. And I am one who will be practicing that over and over and over again, because that is not something that comes easily or naturally to me. It doesn't matter how many years I've been practicing yoga. It's just sometimes these lessons have to be relived over and over again. And I think that's part of being a human. So anyway, I hope to see you again soon on here, and namaste.